What up, YouTubers? Reezonoticz back here once again. It's time for a video game collection update. Since I know that tomorrow I get paid and I still had a little bit of money left in the account, praise God for that. I decided, let me be very economical, but at the same time, let me go splurge a little bit at my favorite friendly neighborhood playing trade. And that's what I did, man. I went and I got myself 4 titles, strictly retro. You know what I'm saying? Unless there's something hot that's brand new that I'm really into for the Wii or the PS3, I stick to getting retro games because you see my Wii collection. I got a nice Wii collection. My PS3 collection's coming along too, but if it's not something like that, I usually go for the retro. You know what I'm saying? This time it's strictly a PlayStation 1 video update because that was my second smallest collection, my first smallest being my Sega Saturn collection, and I felt I wanted to beef it up. I checked out the Saturn games first, but they didn't really have anything that really caught my attention, and they only had like 6 or 7 games at this particular playing trade at this particular day. So I said, let me check out the PS1 games, man, and I got some gems here, man. 4 titles. I spent a total of $11. You know what I'm saying? I got the little discount card and all that, but still $11 for 4 PlayStation 1 games. I don't think that's a bad deal at all, man. I love playing trade. So I'm gonna just go right through it, show you some of these titles. I have not played any of them yet. I just got home right now, and I figured let me jump right on YouTube, do the update real quick, let my subscribers know what I'm into right now. And I'll tell you what I think about some of these games, the limited knowledge that I have of them before playing them, because as I said before, I was an N64 baby, you know what I'm saying? I still am. To the day that I die, that's my console, man. That to me is the greatest console ever. So I wasn't big into the PlayStation 1. I did own one back in the day, but I got rid of it rather quickly. So now that I got it again, I'm building up that collection, man. Let's just start right away. Let's go through it. Neither one of these games that I'm about to show you cost me more than $5. You know what I'm saying? One of them cost me 99 cents. So let's just go right through it. First and foremost, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 on the PlayStation 1. Okay? And you can see it's in pretty good condition. Jewel case, instruction manual, CD, and everything all in there. You know what I'm saying? I was a big fan of the Tony Hawk series, especially early on. Part 1 through 3. After that, they got kind of stale. There's a couple of good ones on the last generation systems, like on my Xbox original. I have Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. I feel that's the last real good Tony Hawk game because I had a new what's the word? It had a new plot. It wasn't just doing skating competitions for the hell of it. You actually had to build up your own amusement park, so to speak. But this is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, and I think 2 was the most popular one in the early games, but 3 was a hell of a game from what I understand. I never did play this one, so I look forward to testing it out later and getting into it. But you know what it is, man. Tony Hawk games, you know what you can expect, especially the first couple ones. Solid skateboarding games, great trick system, good controls, fun level designs and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to getting into it. After that, this one cost me 99 cents, which is amazing because this is the third installment in what was probably the dominant snowboarding series back in the 32-bit, 64-bit era. The only game better than this is snowboarding. I will tell you right now it's 1080 snowboarding, but they only made one of those in the 64, whereas on the PS1 they made 3 of these, and I'm talking about Cool Borders 3. This one doesn't have the instruction manual, but the CD's in good condition. Cool Borders 3, okay? I used to have Cool Borders 2 on my original PS1 when I was a jit. You know what I'm saying? Now that I saw this, and I saw this for 99 cents, I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking this up, man. So, Cool Borders 3, like I said, probably the dominant snowboarding game back in that era. That's the dominant snowboarding series. The N64 had a few good titles in that area, such as, like I said, 1080, which was the best out of all of them. And Twisted Edge Extreme Snowboarding, which was a second snowboarding title on the 64. I never got to really get my hands on that one, but I did play Cool Borders 1, 2, and now I'm about to play 3 for the first time. And Cool Borders was a great game. Had a great trick system, some fun characters, really good course designs. And in this one, the graphics are a lot better than they were in the first two. Still PlayStation 1 graphics. They didn't really compare to the 64, but still, really looking forward to popping this into the old PS1 and giving it a go later on. Up next, it's a PlayStation's greatest hits, and it's also I view this game or this series as and this was back when I was younger, back in the 32-bit, 64-bit era. I viewed this franchise as a competitor for some reason. I don't know why. For the competitor to Wave Race, and maybe because the first one was more water-based, if I remember correctly. But this is the second one, and this one has more terrain, water, everything, and that is Jet Moto 2. I always viewed the Jet Moto series as a direct competitor for some reason to Wave Race. Maybe that was my limited understanding back then. in my youth, but now if you ask me, I'd say they're completely different. Just by looking at the box alone, I can tell you they're completely different. But you know what I'm saying? I played the original, never played the second one. This one looks like it has a lot of great course designs, man. I'm seeing corkscrews and loops and tunnels and stuff. So, I mean, I'm a fan of racing games in general, and this one looks like one of those high-tech, fast, futuristic type racing games. So, I mean, I got this for $3.99, I believe it was. So, not bad, man. You know, another good game for the PS1 collection. And last but not least, y'all can laugh at me if you want. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I had to pick this up. Never played it, never even heard of it, man. But because I've heard of the license that this game uses, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, before I show you this game, this license, you know what I'm saying? It's a movie from back in the day, from when I was a little boy. I'm talking about when I was like 7. Okay, this movie, this animated movie from which this game gets its license, was the best animated movie of all, in my opinion. Way better than anything Disney ever brought out. Matter of fact, one of Disney's best, if not their best animated movie, which I consider to be The Lion King, ripped its plot straight from this movie that was not a Disney movie. I don't even remember who made this movie. But man, it was The Land Before Time. The original Land Before Time. Y'all remember Littlefoot, Sarah, Spike, Ducky, Petrie? Don't be looking at me like you don't know what I'm talking about, man. That movie was the bomb back in the day when I was young, before they made 17 different sequels. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I saw this and I was like, man, I had never heard or seen this, but because I have such fond memories of the movie and of that license and of that world in general, I had to pick it up, man. This is Land Before Time Great Valley Racing Adventure on the PlayStation 1. All right, I have never heard nor seen this, and it's in perfect condition. The case, you got the instruction booklet and the CD and everything. This has to be some type of collector's item in some regard or some scale, because I have never heard or seen this game, and I'm pretty fluent when it comes to, you know, my knowledge of video games. And I've never heard or seen this. So when I saw this for like $3, I was like, man, I gotta pick it up. It probably sucks. Or maybe it's a hidden gem. You never know. But it probably sucks. But the graphics look good. It's got 3D graphics. All the characters and locations from the Great Valley and all those areas of that movie that I was so in love with as a kid. And I still think it's timeless. I mean, I'm trying to get my hands on a copy of it so that when my son just turned 2, when he turns about 3 or 4, and he can start watching movies and really understanding and appreciating them and starting to, you know, fall in love with his own type of stuff, I want to show him that movie because it was a great movie for me as a kid. But yeah, man, I had to pick this up, man. It was too good to be true. Like, man, yo, I gotta get this, man. It's Land Before Time, man. So, you know what I'm saying? That wraps up my update. Once again, I'll show you real quick. Got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. We got Cool Borders 3. We got Jet Moto 2. And then, like I said, Great Valley, Land Before Time's Great Valley Racing Adventure. This one, man, it looks, from what I've seen and what I've read on the back of the box, it looks kind of like a game that's somewhere in the vein of a Diddy Kong Racing, in the sense that it's not just straight up racing. There's other elements to it. Of course, racing is the main thing. But, you know what I'm saying? It just looks fun, and it looks like there's a little bit more to it than just straight up racing. So, of course, after I test all these games out, I will probably make a video, not reviewing them, but just letting you know, A, if they worked or not, which I'm thinking they will because they all look like they're in good condition, and B, what were my thoughts on the game and what I have played so far. So this brings my PS1 collection, I think, up to, I would say now I'm around 11 games or so, which doesn't sound like much, but you got to remember, man, this is a system that I really had little interest in growing up. I had one, got rid of it to get some more N64 games. And now I got it back as a collector, and I'm, you know, little by little rebuilding my collection, man. So that's all there is. There is no more. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment, subscribe, leave me some comments. If you've played any of these, leave me some comments. Let me know what I'm getting myself into. All right, man. God bless y'all and stay gaming. And look for the video that talks about my thoughts on these games coming up soon. God bless.